And we got this story, actually very boring story about American presidents. So this story for me is not interesting, but we have to do it. We cannot skip these words and we cannot skip this tense. Here we do simple past tense, first type. And I tell you again, first type of the sentence is the sentence without real verb. Without real verb. So real verbs are like jump, cook, eat, smoke, right? It's the real verbs. So sentences with real verbs are second type. And sentences without real verbs are first type. And for now, for this year, all you need to know that there are only two types of sentences in English. Okay? So now we are doing the sentences of first type past form. And as usual, we got new words and repeat the previous words by doing the sentences and dialogues and questions. Okay. Guide. Who is guide? G-U-I-D-E. G-U-I-D-E. Guide. Do you know this word? Guide. 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 Can be tourist guide, for example. For example, here we got a tourist guide. So guide. We are now at Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. Mount Rushmore, just a name. Mount Rushmore. Mount, it's a short form from mountain. So you can say Mountain Rushmore in South Dakota. South Dakota is just a state name, right? And you can see in front of you So you understand first my sentence. You don't understand, ask me questions. After you understand, you repeat. And you can see in front of you from left to right you can see in front of you from left to right the heads of American presidents. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. As you know, all four men were presidents of the United States. George Washington was the first president, Thomas Jefferson second, and etc., etc. The second head is of Thomas Jefferson. He was president of the United States he was president of the United States from 1801 to 1809. When was he born? He was born in 1743 in Virginia. In Virginia. His parents were very rich. Was he the president right after Washington? Was he the president right after Washington? right after Washington. No, he was the third president. What's Jefferson famous for? Well, he's famous for writing the Declaration of Independence. He's famous for writing the Declaration of Independence. That was Declaration of Independence. That was when he was 33. That was when he was 33. Before he was president, and for buying the state of Louisiana from Napoleon in 1803. And for buying the state of Louisiana from Napoleon in 1803. Yes. Okay, so we got this boring text. Okay, I even don't want you to ask any questions. Okay, and we got this second text, the same topic, simple past of first type of the sentences. And one more text about history. I don't know, guys, do you know this kind of history or not? But we have to do this because we need these constructions, we need these words. So 4 different statues. Before we start, do you know the word statue? Okay, so first one, the statue of Chopin in Warsaw. Of Chopin in Warsaw. Chopin was born in Mazovia in Poland in 1810. In Poland in 1810. When he was 7 years old, he was already a brilliant pianist. He was a brilliant pianist. He was a great composer, and his piano music is world famous and very popular. Is world famous and very popular. Okay, world famous. You understand this phrase, right? World famous. Okay, second statue. We do it very fast. The statue of Joan of Arc in Paris. Joan of Arc. Do you know Joan of Arc? Joan of Arc was born in 1412. In the village of Domremy in France. Domremy in France. It's just the name of the village, Domremy. She was only a young girl, but she was also a soldier. and a famous leader in the war against the English. And a famous leader in the war against the English. Okay, Joan of Arc. And statue number 3, the statue of Nelson in London. Nelson was born in Norfolk Norfolk, just a name, England, in 1758. He was a great sailor. Sailor. You know who is sailor? Who is sailor? Sailor. Okay, I spell for you the word sailor. S-A-I-L-O-R. Sailor. Sailor. A person who works on a ship as a member of the crew. Or a person who sails a boat. Sailor. You understand sailor, right? So he was a great sailor. He was famous for his victory. He was famous for his victory. He was famous for his victory against the French. He was famous for his victory against the French at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Okay, Battle of Trafalgar, just a name. Battle is like a fighting, right? Battle. B-A-T-T-L-E. B-A-T-T-L-E. Battle is like a fighting, like a small war. But here's the word you need to know. Against. So I spell it for you. A-G. Every word you don't know, you must know how to spell, and you must to write it down and pronounce and like work 1, 2, 3 minutes here. Against. Even not against, even better American pronunciation, against. Against. For example, against. Americans fight against, for example, I don't know, Canada. Chinese, for example, Chinese fights against Vietnamese. When two nations are fighting, or when two nations fight. Do you know the word fight? So even not about nations, even for example, one person fight against another person. Cat, okay. Cat fights against dog. Or one dog fights against another dog. Okay, this word, against, I want you to know this word. A-G-A-I-N-S-T, against. So I gave you 5 different sentences, but you cannot understand it. Okay. Yes. So he was famous for his victory against the French. Against the French at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Okay, we just go to next statue. And last statue number 4, the statue of Bolivar, or Bolivar in Caracas. The statue of Bolivar in Caracas. Bolivar was born in 1783. Was born in 1783. 1783. In where? In Venezuela. Venezuela. His family was from Caracas. Okay. He was a famous politician and soldier and a great leader. He was a famous politician, a soldier, and a great leader. Okay, so 4 different statures, and I don't want you to ask you questions because you don't remember anything, I know. So we just skip and go to the next dialogue, next text. Okay, we got here.
We are now at Mount Rushmore in South Dakota, and you can see in front of you from left to right the heads of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. As you know, all 4 men were presidents of the United States. George Washington was the first president, and he married... The second head is of Thomas Jefferson. He was President of the United States from 1801 to 1809.
When was he born?
He was born in 1743 in Virginia. His parents were very rich.
Was he the president right after Washington?
No, he was the 3rd president.
What's Jefferson famous for?
Well, he's famous for writing the Declaration of Independence. That was when he was 33, before he was president, and for buying the state of Louisiana from Napoleon in 1803.